September 1st, 1939. Despite the free-flying visits from Sir Neville Chamberlain, Nazi forces still invade Poland. On October 5th, 1939, Poland was under Soviet and Nazi control. Major cities in Poland, such as Warsaw, were reduced to shreds. On the 3rd of September 1939, Sir Neville Chamberlain handed a notice to Hitler explaining that if Hitler did not remove his troops from Poland, England would be forced to retaliate.
I have to tell you now that no such undertaking has been received, and that consequently this country is at war with Germany.
On September 9, 1939, British troops from the British Expeditionary Force were shipped out to Southampton. An estimated 390,000 troops were shipped out. An overwhelming military attack was developed called Blitzkrieg, meaning lightning war. The plan utilised all aspects of the army, including fast-moving tanks, troops and air support. This meant for a quick victory, as in just 3 days and nights, Allied forces were pushed back into France by the pursuing German army. During the retreat of the BEF, Sir Winston Churchill was made Prime Minister of Britain.
I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears and sweat.
From May 26th to June 4th, Operation Dynamo, also known as evacuation from Dunkirk, took place. Churchill expected 165 men to be rescued. A greater 338,000 were actually rescued, boosting the morale of British people for the remainder of the war. From the 10th of July 1940 and the 31st of October 1940, the Royal Air Force and Royal Navy defended Britain against the large-scale attacks from the Nazi Germany's Air Force. Despite heavy losses, Vice Command struck a blow to the Luftwaffe in which it would never fully recover, leading to a defensive victory on the 31st of October. September 7, 1940, an intense bombing campaign led by the Luftwaffe strikes British cities.
The Blitz has returned to London with renewed fury.
In 1941, the 11th of May, the bombing stopped as Hitler commanded his bombers to prepare for the invasion of USSR. 1944, June 6th, D-Day. Allied forces mounted a mass invasion upon Nazi forces posted upon the beaches of France, including Normandy and Cherbourg. The invasion is a combined effort between US and British forces. The invasion pushes Nazi forces out of France, but losses are huge, as an estimated 10,000 Allied forces are reported as dead, missing or wounded. Pursuing attacks from Russia and pursuing invasion from US and British forces now pincer and push Nazi forces back into Germany. On the 8th of May 1945, Germany surrenders, marking the end of the war and for many, VE Day.
Yesterday morning at 2:41 a.m. at General Eisenhower's headquarters, General Jodl, the representative of the German High Command, and of Grand Admiral Dönitz, the designated head of the German state, signed the act of unconditional surrender of all German land, sea, and air forces in Europe to the Allied expeditionary forces and simultaneously to the Soviet High Command. We may allow ourselves a brief period of rejoicing. Today is Victory in Europe Day.
Come the time when the war was ending, and we all knew it was because we heard on the radio, and that followed with arrangements for parties. Well, even in Tadworth, the American and the Canadian people, soldiers, turned on a magnificent display, and down our road, Ashurst Road, and round the village came a huge parade of guns, huge guns, searchlights. You've never seen anything so big. There were planes with their wings folded backwards so they could travel down the road. We soon learned that there was going to be a big parade up in London, and Dad still had to wear his uniform because he wasn't officially demobbed. So we all got together, and the four of us went up to London in the morning early in a steam train from Tadworth to Victoria. Got photographs of us with pigeons on our head and all sorts of things, and absolute crowds. You've never seen anything like it. We went through until we came to Buckingham Palace, where there were hundreds of thousands of people, and this was sort of late afternoon, and I managed to get right on the railings at Buckingham Palace and was lifted up, and so I had a good view when it came of the parade that came through of, again, every country that served in the war, soldiers with turbans and so on. It was very exciting. The noise was horrendous. There was cheering and dancing, and people were absolutely, well, they'd obviously had too much to drink, but they were dancing, nicely, and it was, very well done, and they were thoroughly enjoyed themselves.
My own precious darling, I have been waiting so patiently to date this, such that it is my pet. But at last that day has arrived. Thank God it has, darling, as it has been so long awaited by everybody. Everything seems so grand that it's impossible to realise that this is the end of a 5.5-year struggle, lit with the last 12 months as a year of crowning triumphs. We have indeed been blessed, being confident that with our faith in God, we should have strength enough to win a war against a cruel enemy in a short time, once we had a tight grip on him. In the midst of our thanks, dearest, we today prayed for those who will not return with us, having given everything to win the peace that we must hold in the future. We have got to do that. Darling, I want to thank you especially for the inspiration that you have given me, for that grand and true love which has blossomed into a unity of happiness which we are to share. I know that God sent you to fill that vacant space in my life, and I'm so proud of you, my darling. You are so grand and so true and beautiful, my sweet, and I do so love you with all my very heart and soul. How proud I am, and how I do love my wife. The scenes here are too hectic to describe in a few words, dear, but I shall try to detail them to you in my further letters. Celebrations are out of the question, sweet, but there is a great sense of relief in waves, surrounding all who are here. We are so acute, and as ever as trouble will start if we show a fraction of relaxation. I do hope you and trust that you enjoyed the celebration, darling. See you after it all? Anyway, I enjoyed them enough for both you and me. I bet you did. So for now, my precious, I must bid you au revoir, but shall write as soon as I can, darling. May God bless my angel today and always. Keep that victory smile, darling, and that chin up high. I do love you so much, sweetheart. Always your very own, loving Sarge.
Never thought that you would be standing here so close to me. There's so much I feel that I should say, but words.
Giving up was signed by the Emily, and that followed with arrangements for parties. Well, even in Tadworth, we had our thing.
It's been a long, long time. Haven't felt like this, my dear, since can't remember when. It's been a long, long time. You'll never know how many dreams I dream about you, or just how empty they all seem without you. So kiss me once.
We must now devote all our strength and resources to the completion of our tasks, both at home and abroad. Advance Britannia. Long live the cause of freedom. God save the King.